Women don't want a good man, and they're right. Women don't want a good man in the sense I'm about to explain now, in this specific sense. They don't want someone who agrees to everything or adapts just to avoid losing them, nor someone who fears rejection or has anxious attachment. What a healthy woman looks for isn't goodness. What a healthy woman looks for is presence, emotional strength, and consistency. An excessively accommodating man doesn't convey love, he conveys neediness, he conveys lack. And neediness doesn't generate attraction, it generates distrust. It's like she goes cold. An attractive man isn't someone who gives endlessly, but someone who knows himself, his desires, and his boundaries. Women connect with men who, above all, don't fall apart in the face of conflict, don't live reacting emotionally, don't need to take control or seek constant approval, and have purpose and direction. This doesn't mean that man has to be cold or insensitive, it means being stable, present, and strong. A woman doesn't want a bad boy. She wants the courage that many bad boys seem to have. She wants the parts of that personality that are good. Decision, leadership, authenticity, clear boundaries. When a man respects himself, when he's able to say no, even to someone he cares about. So, it's clear now, it's not that they want bad boys, but they don't want good guys either when those people trade their dignity for affection. That makes those men feel confident and create that sense of security in them, and security brings true attraction. It doesn't come from good behavior, but from creating excitement, being unpredictable, fearless, and consistent. Being good without character makes you invisible, but being aware, having integrity, and setting boundaries makes you magnetic. And no, it's not about dominating anyone. It's not about seducing or manipulating. It's about mastering yourself, about being consistent and competent. If you respect yourself, know who you are, and walk with purpose, you don't need to chase women. Attraction happens naturally. Write to me in the comments. If you're a woman, I choose a masculine and conscious man. Write in the comments. If you're a man, I will work on my masculinity and my awareness more every year. This is what women really want, and almost no one understands it. Most men think they understand women until one rejects them. It breaks his ego, it shatters his illusion and his desire to love again, and it all starts with the same mistake. Men often believe that women only want love, attention, little gestures, and absolute availability. Do they compete with each other? No, that's the most dangerous lie men have been told. Women don't choose based on what they say. They choose based on what they feel and what is awakened in them. Female desire is emotional firmness, not boundless kindness. A man who revolves his life around a woman, who melts for every message, is a man who doesn't set boundaries out of fear of losing her. That man is not generating attraction in that way. He's creating pressure, neediness, making the woman pull away and reject him. On the other hand, there is something that truly activates a woman's deep desire. A centered man, a man with purpose, a man who knows who he is, a man who doesn't break. He doesn't beg in silence or bargain for attention when things cool off. This isn't being cold, this is having center. Women don't look for the nicest guy, they look for the most emotionally stable man in their environment. This is biological, emotional, and also spiritual. It's the essence of women and men, because men's stability transmits security to women, and security activates desire in women. Women don't want to dominate you, but if you let them, they'll lose respect for you. They want a man with courage, consistency, and self-control, not a bad boy. The truth is this: women don't reject you because you're not enough, they reject you when you give up your center, when you return to it, when you build yourself up, when you stop chasing and start walking firmly. Women stop being a problem for you. So, when you return to your center, women become a mirror that reflects tranquility and love back to you. Write in the comments. I return to my center. When women are centered, it's also easier for them to attract more centered men. Let's all move forward to better understand what men don't get about female selection. This is a very important fact. Today we'll discuss this topic and how good men unintentionally kill attraction and female desire by misunderstanding women. We'll also discuss how good women reject good men because they don't understand their own essence and feminine nature. It's fine, because men will eventually learn what's needed for everything to fit together, since this is easy and we'll take all necessary steps. Today, we may discuss truths that even women don't know about themselves. Many men ask if they should start and wonder why, despite doing everything right, they still feel ignored or rejected. And no, it's not because of any specific thing. It's not that you've done anything wrong. It's not because you're not enough as a man, nor because women are bad or have some strange way of functioning. It's not because love is broken. The problem is that men don't understand how female selection works. If a woman isn't attracted to you, she'll reject you. If she's slightly attracted, she may still reject you to test you. Even if she's very attracted, she might reject you in a way that shows her interest. So, how does female selection work? Men usually love from emotion and are often fascinated when we get rejected, while women choose based on instinct. Not understanding that difference makes you act in ways that unknowingly kill a woman's attraction. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Women aren't attracted to the man who gives everything, but to the man who stands on his own. A man who revolves his life around a woman, who falls apart when she gives him the silent treatment, who needs constant validation. This man isn't showing love, he's showing dependence. And this is very important for women. That doesn't spark desire in them. Female attraction isn't swayed by speeches or promises, it's drawn to presence, emotional stability, and inner strength. That's why many times a woman says she wants an attentive man, but she's actually attracted to one who doesn't chase after her. Not because she likes not being pursued. Not because she likes a man to be uninterested in her, but because she likes men who are centered and balanced. A centered man doesn't beg. A centered man doesn't negotiate his value. A centered man doesn't lose his cool when things go wrong. A centered man has purpose, boundaries, and direction, which creates security, a key trigger of female desire. It's clear that if men don't understand women's instincts, progress won't happen. Comment below, man or woman, now I understand everything. This is how men fall in love according to psychology. If you've ever wondered why he seemed so interested and then suddenly cooled off, well, it has nothing to do with you doing something wrong. It's just that men don't fall in love the way you think. Have you ever thought that men fall in love the same way women do? From the very first message, from the excitement, from love at first sight, let me tell you something honestly. Men don't fall in love the way you think. Well, basically, it's easy to understand that men think women think like they do, and that's not the case, and women do the same in reverse. Well, for a man, love isn't an immediate impulse, it's a process. Understanding this can save you years of suffering, confusion, broken expectations, and emotional exhaustion. The stages of falling in love. First stage, attraction. Here, it's all biology, desire, curiosity, chemistry, but be careful, attraction is not love. A man can desire you intensely and still never fall in love. Second stage, connection. Everything shifts here. Once he's comfortable, laughing and relaxed with you, he begins associating you with positive emotions. You're no longer just an attractive woman, you're a place where he feels good. Third stage, internal evaluation. And here's where many women misunderstand things. The man asks himself, almost without realizing it, things like, for example, is my life better with this woman or without her? If he feels peace, coherence, and freedom, he moves forward. If he feels pressure, demands, or fear of losing himself, he stops. Fourth stage, the decision. When a man truly falls in love, he doesn't hesitate, not because you're perfect, but because the relationship makes sense to him. The big secret is this: men don't fall in love because of intensity, they fall in love because of meaning. And in general, it takes them longer to fall in love than women. Now tell me in the comments. I stop chasing and start feeling. Both men and women, when we are more centered, we will connect better from a place of love. 10 ridiculously simple techniques to interact with a woman. I'm going to tell you something that almost no one tells you. Interacting with a woman isn't about talent, magical charisma, or perfect lines. It's about having and using simple tools. I always say that everything should be fun and easy. Well, from a place of enjoyment, here are 10 ridiculously simple techniques that work because they're human, not theatrical. Point 1. If you want something, ask for it. The phone number, the kiss, seeing her again. Waiting for it to just happen is the elegant way of doing nothing. Number 2, take the initiative. Most women won't start the interaction, but they respond well if you do so calmly and confidently. Point 3, create excitement. It's not about interviews asking where you work, live, or what your job is. Stop asking basic questions about work, ask about trips, places, experiences, or fun moments instead. 4. Use the game. Make the woman guess where you're from, what you do for a living, or exaggerate a little to break the logic. Point number 5. Staying quiet is also a technique. Ask and listen. The well-used silence creates connection. Point number 6. Bring the conversation to the here and now. For example, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you today that connects more than any story from the past? Point number 7. Touch her naturally. A gentle spin, a turn, a little playful move without forcing it but without fear, or some casual contact, something simple. Point number 8. Set the stage. Ask for her contact info only after building a connection, not as a favor at the end. Point number 9. Use a reason even if it's simple. I'll send you this photo and something funny. Let's take a selfie. Give me your WhatsApp so I can send it, since that opens doors. Point number 10. And the most important one, the key isn't the phrase, it's the decision. When you're comfortable with yourself, everything flows. Do women like it when you show you're decisive? Write it in the comments. If I want something, I ask for it and start living life with more presence and less fear. Save it, review it, and most importantly, use it today. Why don't you have a girlfriend? 7 reasons nobody talks about. I'll tell you something most people won't. Women aren't attracted to men who try too hard. That's it. It had to be said. It's not about being handsome, rich, or famous. It's about energy, attitude, and perceived value. Let me tell you something clearly. Not having a girlfriend doesn't mean you're unattractive, poor, or not enough. Most single men don't fail due to what they lack, but because of how they present themselves. Here are 7 real reasons why you're still single, and none of them have to do with how much money you have. Dear women, I'm preparing men so they can reach your hearts better. Point 1. You're not in social environments. If you live between home, work, and your screen, it's simple. You can't attract women who don't even know you exist. Relationships start with real interactions, not just sitting on the couch. Women want to talk to you. You project emotional neediness when you put a woman on a pedestal too soon. Attraction fades. Desire needs space, not urgency. 3. You neglect your presence. It's not about being a model, it's about showing that you respect yourself. For example, hygiene, order, energy, consistency. Those things are very noticeable. 4. Lack of practical confidence. Confidence isn't a gift, it's training. The less you talk to people, the more afraid you become. The more you practice, the more natural you get. Women like natural men, right, ladies? Put it down here below. 5. Conversations lacking spark. The first seconds count. It's about how you make them feel, not what you say. Presence, listening, and authenticity win more than any perfect line, right? Ladies, tell me down here in the comments. 6. Negative or whiny attitude. No one wants to be with someone who's battling their own life. Energy, good or bad, is contagious. If you want women to like you and have a girlfriend, remember this. 7. Lack of passion for life. If your life doesn't excite you, it's unlikely to excite anyone else. Women are normal and wonderful people. They're not looking for perfection, they're looking for life. Change to grow, not to be liked. What suits you will come. Remember this. First you spark attraction, then connection, and only after that comes commitment. If you reverse the order, you'll lose everything. So men, write in the comments, I start building myself today. Women, write in the comments, men. Please listen to Cristobal and follow his advice more so we can understand each other better. Please write here. Thanks.